In this video you can watch some parts of this full of interesting information webinar. If you want to attend live the Football Coach 365 webinars, and have access to a huge database of coaching material, training drills and coaching theory, subscribe to our channel and our newsletter on the link in the description.
Hello all, I am glad you are here. This is a webinar on false positions in football. Playing with inverted positions can be a great advantage for a team that wants to overload specific areas on the pitch and has a specific way and are to attack. Coaches and teams are constantly looking to gain an advantage against their opponents. One such tactical approach that has gained prominence in recent years is the use of false positions. This strategy involves players taking roles, usually when the team is on possession, that might initially appear unfamiliar but serve a crucial purpose in the overall game plan. We will explore how it challenges traditional football norms and provides teams with a unique competitive advantage. Historically, football positions were strictly defined. Forwards scored goals, midfielders controlled the game, and defenders protected the goal. However, modern football has evolved, with players breaking out of these traditional roles. The emergence of false positions is a testament to this evolution. So, why is there a need for differentiation? What is the advantage a coach can gain when players move in different positions during the game? In the modern era, teams are fitter with players being stronger and faster, making football more physical than technical. Nowadays, coaches are more knowledgeable and more specialized to make the teams perform better. The result is for the players to be well trained. Pure talent on many occasions is not enough to win games or dominate. Players such as Maradona, Cruyff, Ronaldo and others would have probably less impact in regards to winning games than in the 80s till 2000s. Also, the development of technology and the amount of data makes it even more difficult to surprise an opponent. So, these all brought the coaches and forced coaches and managers to think of other ways to gain a competitive advantage. There is a need for more fluid teams with more tactically versatile players. Moving on to the next lesson. What are the advantages of using players in false positions? Coaches chooses on strategy over the other by having in mind specific details that will give their teams a competitive advantage that will increase their possibility of winning. Let's see what are the pros of training players occupying different positions on the pitch. One of the primary advantages is the tactical flexibility that in many occasions leads to opponents' confusion. Who jumps? Who stays? Who is the dangerous player? Theses are only few concerns that opponents have in mind during the game, and because of the speed of play, they cannot always choose the correct solution. That can create gaps in opposition lines and between opponents that may lead to goal-scoring opportunities or to moving the ball closer to the penalty area. Another great advantage is the midfield dominance created by teams that move players from wide areas toward the centre. This tactic, heavily used by coaches like Guardiola and Mikel Arteta, who favour overloading the middle of the pitch, enables a team to gain control in key areas. By pushing fullbacks, wingers, and even defenders more centrally, teams can achieve two fundamental principles of positional play: numerical superiority and positional superiority. Creating numerical superiority is something dynamic. It constantly changes during the game. The shifting of the opponent's defending lines changes the ration of the players. That forces the team to continue with other solutions. By continue seeking for numerical overloads, that eventually leads to a positional superiority, which at the same time can be a qualitative. Imagine having Kevin De Bruyne receiving a ball between the lines. The dangerous situations that will create are out of this world. Additionally, fluid player movement across the pitch provides versatility for the team and introduces an element of unpredictability during the game. Lastly, while false positions are primarily intended to create an attacking advantage, they can also enhance defensive stability. For example, if players are moved toward the central channel and the ball is lost, there is immediately a higher density of players in a crucial area, ready to defend the central corridor where most goals are scored. Like any other football strategy, playing with false positions comes with some challenges. First of all, to implement such a style of play, a team must have versatile players capable of playing in more than one position. Most of the time, false positions require players to move from different areas of the pitch to more central ones, meaning that these players must have good technique and tactical awareness. Additionally, players must understand the proper timing and how each movement should be executed. Also, they should easily and quickly identify where the free spaces are and how they can occupy them. This is mandatory to avoid disrupting the team's structure or risking the loss of ball possession, which could allow the opponents to launch a counterattack. Another challenge has to do with communication between the players. In order for this tactic to be fully effective, it requires constant movement from teammates to fill the gaps created by the players in false positions. This is called collective coordination. This will allow the team to maintain both attacking and defensive balance while keeping the opponents confused. Any lack of communication makes the tactic ineffective. One of the most iconic examples of a false position and one of the oldest concepts used is the false nine. But what is the false nine position? Instead of deploying a traditional striker, this tactical approach places a forward in a deeper role, often in midfield as a number 10, to disrupt the opponent's defensive structure and create goal-scoring opportunities. This player is usually technically gifted, able to receive the ball between the lines, score goals, or create chances for teammates. Playing with a false nine, it's not something new. In the 1930s, Matthias Sindelar was used as a dropping centre forward in the Austrian national side. Lionel Messi has become associated with the false nine role. But 30 years ago, Michael Laudrup was playing that position in Johan Cruyff's Barcelona. But of course, the most well-known false nine is Lionel Messi. Messi was used as a false nine under Guardiola, mainly due to his ability to receive between the lines and penetrate with his unique dribbling. For the false nine concept to be successful, some important elements and movements must first be implemented. Proper timing is a huge key factor to put opponents into troubles. First and very important key factor is to bring the wingers slightly inside, pinning the opponent's back line. During Guardiola era in Barcelona, usually this role was occupied by Villa and Pedro. The difference was, when Abidal was playing as a left-back, the width on the attack was given by Villa, so the responsibility to pin the opposition backline was assigned to Iniesta, who occupied a higher position on the left half space. The players pinning the backline must always be ready to run behind the opponent's backline. This will force the defenders to always taking steps backwards and making it difficult to jump in the middle, giving to the dropping forward time and space to receive the ball. Lastly, very important is the individual profile of the forward. He must possess excellent technical skills and spatial awareness, able to operate between the lines as an attacking midfield.
En la zona defensiva del Barcelona, allá atrás combinan Piqué y Puyol. En la banda izquierda muy abierto, como casi siempre Abidal, bastante cerca Iniesta. La pelota nuevamente para Abidal. La juega en el eje de la defensa Puyol. Este es Piqué, basculando de un costado al otro el Real Madrid.
For our next lesson, we will speak for one of the most well-known concepts the last few years, the false full-back, or as it is more well-known, the inverted full-back. It's a tactical concept in football where full-backs, who traditionally play on the flanks of the defence, gets inside the field, overloading the middle of the pitch instead of staying wide. This strategy is often used by coaches to provide various advantages to their team's style of play, like numerical overloads, positional superiority, defensive balance in case of transitions, more passing options, assisting with the build-up and more. This football trend started with Guardiola's Bayern Munich and Philipp Lahm and continued with his Manchester City using Cancelo and Zinchenko as inverted full-backs. Most recent example is Angel Postecoglou, with Tottenham using Udogie and Pedro Porro both getting inside in the build-up and progressions phase. Now, let's see, what are the requirements to achieve this positional movement without losing the team's structure and flexibility? First and most important, there is a need of an innovative coach who can understand the importance of changing formations between the phases to gain a competitive advantage. In this case, the coach must prepare the team to build up with 3 players in a 3-2 structure or even with 2 players in a 2-3 structure. An important element is having a full back capable of playing in a back 3, like Walker, or, previously, Abidal with Barcelona, or a defensive midfielder who can drop into the back line, enabling the Salida La Volpiana. Above all, the most crucial element is having a full back with the skills of a midfielder, passing, receiving, and finding empty spaces to play between the lines. The timing of the fullback's movement into the centre is critical. The position to occupy should be alongside the single defensive midfielder, forming a double pivot. The false centre-back role, as demonstrated by John Stones at Manchester City, is a smart tactical move used by Pep Guardiola. Stones starts as a regular centre-back, but as the team moves forward, he steps into the midfield to help control the ball. This shift creates more control in the middle and allows the team to stay solid at the back. For this to work, players like right-back Kyle Walker are also key, as he is capable of playing in a back 3, often dropping deep to help form that extra defensive layer. The timing of when a centre-back, like Stones, pushes up into the midfield is crucial. As he moves into the centre, he positions himself next to the single defensive midfielder, DM, effectively creating a double pivot. This gives the team more control and support in the middle of the pitch. For this system to be successful, City must have the ball under control, and the ball must either be with or travelling towards the other side of the pitch, allowing them to switch play and maintain balance. This combination of roles and timing creates a flexible and dynamic approach to both attack and defence. Thank you for joining us for this webinar. We hope you found it engaging, insightful, and packed with value. It's been a pleasure sharing this journey with you. Stay curious and keep exploring.